Hey guys. Listen, we struggling over here today. Not Gianna, Lord have mercy, that's my sister. Um I am struggling with this mic right now. So y'all gonna have to give me a minute. This is what happens, this is what happens when you're live on air, okay? So welcome back guys. And I actually need my mic to be closer to me. Okay. Woo! Welcome back, guys. It always seems to start off a little rough. When I try to have a guest, I try to do great. But the universe doesn't want me to be great, but that's okay. We're back for another episode. And hey, Max, welcome back. So, yeah, if this is your first time joining, this is Sip with Joy, a show about a girl, her wine, and her feelings. And I am that girl. I am Joy M. Hutton, your host, serial entrepreneur, and lover of food and wine. And let's see, speaking of wine, today I'm actually drinking a red blend. And this is a blend of Petit Syrah, Zinfandel, and Merlot. This is actually from 19 Crimes, so you all will hear about that on the sip of the day. And you have to follow us on Instagram for that. Well, follow me at Sip with Joy. All right, so apparently it's Easter Monday, and hey, Just Lee, hey, Keisha, hey, Ray. Apparently it is Easter Monday, and had no idea that was a thing until, I don't know, a couple of years ago. But let me let these people over here on Instagram know I'm here. Because, yeah, technical glitches as always. But it's Easter Monday, so hopefully you all had a good Easter Sunday. For me, as I get older, holidays are becoming increasingly difficult. And I think it's because, the older you get, family is more important. And you just go through things, and for me, not just through my sister's passing, but also just my parents are getting older and I'm away from my parents. I'm in Houston and it's just different. So I am, trying to create new traditions for myself because you have friends in the city where you are, but everybody's creating their own traditions. Everybody's doing their own thing. And so you can't always expect people to invite you over to their house because they got their own families. So, creating new traditions. And so thinking about that. So either I'm just popping up on my parents for every holiday or creating my own traditions. So, yeah. So this, I wouldn't say Easter was bad. I mean, but it was emotional, and holidays have just become more emotional for me as the years go on. I know, Max, it's a thing. Easter Monday. So yeah, I am, let's see. What are you texting me, mother? You can't hear me? Okay. Can you all hear me? I haven't heard anybody say they couldn't hear me. So, can you all hear me? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Hopefully you can. All right. So, anyway, so speaking of family, and creating new traditions, today's episode is special because I'm bringing a piece of home to me through my podcast. Okay, so everybody can hear me. And I'm bringing my mama on. So we're going to talk about lessons she's learned, what she's looking forward to in the future, and what she would tell her younger self. So I'm gonna bring my mom on, and we're gonna have to do something a little ratchet today, y'all, because I can't hear her, she can hear me, I can't hear her, but we're gonna work it out. So okay, hey mommy.
Hello.
All right, just want to make sure everybody can hear her. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Good. We had a time with this audio. I tell you, y'all, the devil be busy. The devil does not want me to have great guests, a great podcast. It's always obstacles in terms of dealing with this podcast. But we're going to make it work. And I appreciate all of you for being here with me and my mommy. And yes, I'm 41 years old and I still say mommy. So are you sipping on something today, mommy?
Water.
You know, I need some real wine drinkers on this
Since
show.
I am under doctor's care, I have to still drink water. I can't drink any alcohol.
I mean, you could have put a little cranberry juice in a wine glass or something.
Who knew?
So we're joined by my mom, guys, and so we're just gonna be talking about life, and we're gonna do this gangster style right here. So yeah, Elsie says, "Hey, moms."
Hey,
Sharon says, "Hey, Mama Hutton." Max says, "Hey." Keisha says, "Hey." All right, thank you for showing love to my mommy. All right. So we will just jump right into it. So sipping on water over there, that's fine. We'll forgive you. Okay. So we're just gonna jump right into it. So I talk to you about my dating life often. And I feel like dating has is different. You may think that dating has changed as well based on the conversations that you've had for me. So what was dating like when you were younger? And y'all, she been with my daddy. They high school sweethearts. They broke up, got back together, broke up, and then they got married. But yeah, so tell me about what dating was like when you were younger, and if it was complicated, or did y'all just go together?
actually, I think that it was. I think that it wasn't as complicated back then. I think that when people liked each other, they were all in. There weren't. I mean, you had some people that were player, but for the most part, you had people who were sincere, and your relationships lasted much longer, I think, than they do now. I think when people dated, they were looking for partners. And so they were invested in the relationships. Now, in high school, of course, everybody was gangster. It was like
Gangster.
nobody was, I don't think anybody was serious. But as you got older into your 20s and stuff, people were looking to get married and start families. And I think that they were more sincere in their relationships. At least that was my experience. Um, so I think that back then, yeah, I mean, you had some flybys, in terms of, you thought the relationship was going great, and then you found out, oh, I guess it wasn't. They broke up.
But did people ghost you? Did you experience ghosting? And ghosting is basically when someone just literally disappears like a ghost. Or was there a conversation about, I don't think this is working?
Sometimes, yes, I would say yes. I definitely got ghosted by somebody I really liked.
You
And
got ghosted?
yeah, and I finally was able to reach that person and say, hey, what's going on with you? And I was like, do you want to talk about this? No, they don't want to talk. They do what you want to do. As far as I'm concerned, on this end or his end, it was done. And so that was very hurtful. But like I said, sometimes you misread relationships. You think that they are potentials for long-term relationships, and they aren't. And I think back then, I think a lot of people looked at relationships more long-term, and they just weren't.
Right.
And everybody had an agenda, but you, and I was one of those sincere hearts, so I was more gullible, and
Weren't we all?
and believed, that when I dated someone that they had my best interest at heart, but it wasn't always that way.
Right.
So I guess it's a little bit like it is now.
So not too much has changed. We just have social media, and social media makes things, I think social media makes things worse. You have these reality TV. You have so many things, and then you got manufactured bodies out here. It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
I think you have a lot of distractions with social media. You have so many ways to reach out and connect with people that we didn't have. It was just the telephone, the funny story about how your dad and I got together. He was actually interested in your auntie. And he had met her because she was at a repast that was on his block. He met her because she was very, had really banging body back then.
Brick house.
And so he really was interested in her, but every time he would call, she was never home. And so he would call, and I was always the one that was answering the phone. And so we started talking. And
my daddy is smooth, y'all.
Yeah, we eventually met. He came over one Thanksgiving because he had kept telling me he was going to come over and visit. I think they met back in the summertime. So he kept saying he was going to come over and visit once we established that we might want to, meet. And he came over one Thanksgiving, and I was shocked, came over with his cousin. And because he was coming to the hood, he lived on the south side. So,
right.
He had to have protection. So he was coming to the south side, and he brought his cousin Jake with him. And we met, and we started dating. We went to prom together and everything. And, when he went off to college, I was, working, and I was meeting all these guys that were older than me. So
she was being fast, y'all.
I was fast.
Well, so fast forward, they had me and they got married. So we will spare all the details in between. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about, what was dating like courting. I feel like nowadays men do not court women as much as they used to. And that's just in my shorter dating life. And, I just think that it's different now. And so it's more women approaching men, and you just don't have men putting in work like they used to. And I'm not saying all men, for y'all men out there, but it is different.
It's definitely different. And I personally have often said, if anything happens to your dad, I'm done. I don't want to date anymore.
Yeah.
I just want to be by myself, live my life, and keep it moving.
Right.
Because I don't want to have to go through getting to know someone again. I don't want to have to go through the scene. I don't want to have to go through the sexual scene. I don't want to do any of that.
You don't want to be out here in these streets, trust me. You don't.
I'd rather be by myself.
Yeah. LC said, too many options at your fingertips nowadays. Keisha said, agree. Social media is constant stimulation, which conditions people to need that all the time. There's a general lack of peace because there's so much noise. I agree. It's just too much. It's really too much. So, okay, so let's shift a little bit. And these questions there's no rhyme or reason to the order here. But what do you wish you had done differently along the way, like in life? What do you wish you had done differently?
Well, I wish that I had finished school, for sure. I wish I had done that before I settled down and got married. And then I think my life would have taken a different path. I don't say that your dad and I wouldn't have ended up together, but I think that I just think that it would have been more beneficial, financially for sure. And I just think that my growth would have been so different had been able to go to school. So I just wish that is something I definitely had done. And I know that with you and your sister, that was something that we hammered home. Don't come home pregnant because you can't come in. And
that was true, y'all.
And finish your education. And you all succeeded on both those levels. And, it's a wonderful thing. So I'm glad that, my mistakes afforded you all to be able to finish
Mm-hmm.
and succeed in life. And I just think that it was great that you all got a chance to do that.
Right. So
Yeah.
speaking of motherhood, what was
Hmm.
the most fulfilling part? What has been the most fulfilling part of motherhood, and what has been the most challenging part of motherhood?
Well, I'd say your teen years were probably our hardest, especially with you and your sister, because both
I
of
was
you were.
so good. What do you mean?
I don't know what fantasy you were in,
I
but
wasn't a
anyway,
rebel until I wasn't a rebel until my 20s. Until
right? Yeah, I would say college for you, but high
yeah.
school for Gianna. Gianna was very, very strong-willed, and she just had her opinions about things, and she was going to tell you, um, which I like that about her. But I
Mhm.
also thought, sometimes she just needs to be quiet. But I am glad that she became that kind of person, because you need to be able to speak up for yourself.
Mhm.
Um, Too many times, I think we don't say enough, and we allow people to maybe take advantage. So I think that that was a good thing. I wish that we had done. I mean, we did a lot of mother daughter stuff, but I wish we had done more.
Mhm.
You- Um, and yeah, so I just wish we had done more.
Yeah.
Uh, for you, you were, yeah, you gave us some trouble. You like to hack grades and stuff like that, and but we got through it. So in terms of discipline, I thought we were harsh disciplinarians, and
Mhm.
I wish that maybe we had been a little bit milder.
I wish
Just a
too.
little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
I wish too.
I think that we
Guys,
were,
battle wounds.
yes, yes. I think that definitely harsh disciplinarians, and I think that I wish we had done that differently.
Mhm.
But I think that in terms of talking, I wish that you all had shared more.
Mhm.
Um, I know that you all like to keep a lot of secrets between yourselves with each other, but I wish that you all had shared more of that with us.
Yeah.
I mean, we do now, but back then, I think that it's really, really important.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. Yeah,
yeah,
Gianna and I definitely had our secrets.
I
Well, I
know.
am my sister's keeper.
Hmm.
I still am. Go to the grave with
Yeah,
some things.
exactly. Exactly.
Hey Lenora. Lenora said the fear, right? The parents put the fear of God in us. Okay, so marriage. What would you say is your favorite part about marriage for those who may be like, I don't want to get married. I don't want to deal with the drama, the work, the all that stuff. What's your favorite part about marriage?
I think the favorite part of marriage is longevity.
Mm,
Um, I think that over time, I would say in your 20s and 30s, you're probably more enemies than friends.
mm-hmm,
Um, I think raising children, having children, raising children, um, having financial setbacks and things all contribute to having, tumultuous times in your marriage.
mm-hmm.
But I think that the reward is what I have now.
Yeah.
Um, I love my husband, and he's my friend.
Yeah.
So, he makes me laugh. He, does silly things. He has taken excellent care of me during my illness, and so um, that is, I think, the best part about going through all those stages.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the stage of not having enough money to oh, maybe we can go out to the movies and, get some dinner after. Or
Mm-hmm.
now we can go to a nice restaurant where before it was like mediocre.
Yeah.
So,
You can do
I'm great.
grown and sexy stuff now. You ain't got no kids in the house.
Exactly. Walking around with no clothes on, all that kind of
Okay, okay. I don't, yeah, TMI.
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 So, so I think that for me, just maturing um, as individuals and as a couple, and now getting ready to go into traveling more
Mm-hmm.
and spending more time together, and it's just a blessing at this point.
Yeah.
I didn't always feel like that,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
and it comes with time. I just think it comes with time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, speaking of time, what would you say are some lessons that you've learned over the years?
One is probably that I need to be quiet sometimes,
Oh.
and and I'm just being honest. I
Yeah.
think that sometimes I talk too much,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I think that spend less, save more,
Mm-hmm.
um, and listen to my husband.
Yeah.
He knows a couple of things, and I thought I knew it all. I was like you all teenagers. They think their parents don't know anything. I thought my husband didn't know anything, but he knows a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't always value his opinion because, of course, I have my own.
Mm-hmm.
But I do appreciate his wisdom and his knowledge and his experience, because even though we've been together all this time, he was in college and I wasn't, so he's got a leg up on me in terms of that, and he learned some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
His life experiences have definitely been invaluable for both of us,
Mm-hmm.
and so I really, that's one of the things I really, really appreciate,
Okay.
anything.
Yeah. What did you, this was a question actually from, I knew this was going to come up, the question from an audience member. What did you think about me going on a dating show?
Well, you and I had talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
You and I and your dad had talked about it, and I personally wasn't too thrilled about it, but thought that it might be a nice experience.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciated the way that you carried yourself during the show, and I thought that I still have people who know that you were on the show and watched tell me, "Wow, she was my favorite," And I think it was because you carried yourself with such style and grace. And I'd like to say that we contributed to that.
You definitely did. I was
So
not going
I
to go on there and embarrass the family name.
come down there as one of the family members on that when meet the boyfriend.
Yeah.
But I was very, very proud of the way that you handled the show, and the way you handled yourself on the show. You did not give in to some of the slutty things that I saw
Mm-hmm.
on the show. You kept your poise, and you just were yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't come on with a false identification. You were you.
Yeah.
And I think that is one of the reasons that you were a favorite, is because you came on there with style and grace, like I said, and I think that it was just it was awesome.
Yeah. Well,
It was
thank you.
it was definitely a test and trial with the death of Gianna and
Yeah.
everything. But you did a great job. Did a
Thank
great
you. Thank you. I get it from my mama.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So what kind of man do you think is the best fit for me?
Um, Well, first of all, I would hope that it would be someone that's family oriented.
Mm-hmm.
I know that that still exists.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of where is he, you know. But he's supposed to find you, so I hope that he does.
Yeah.
And I think that having someone that's family oriented, someone that respects a woman is another thing. Someone that sees it as a partnership and not an individual. He does his thing, you do yours. I mean, there's always that element in a relationship. You have to have your individualism,
Mm-hmm.
but I also feel like when you're working to build something, it should be something that you do together and not
Right.
separate.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad would say I always fought him on stuff like this, but I learned over time. I got better. But I would hope that that's the kind of person that you meet.
Yeah.
I hope that it's someone who really has your best interest at heart, someone who cares about you and wants to see you grow and be happy, and someone that's a family man, you know. But, you know, and likes to have fun.
Yeah.
You know, someone that, Lord knows, travels. Because I know that's a big part of your life.
Yes, absolutely.
I would hope that it's someone that has the same interests as you.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they are a business or an entrepreneur, I would hope that that doesn't take away from the relationship, that you can mesh those things together and still build upon whatever you two are growing individually as well as collectively.
Mm-hmm. Well, keep saying that prayer for me. Keep saying that good prayer. Yes. Okay, so last question, which is the title of this episode, what I would tell my younger self. What would you tell your younger self?
Well, like I said, again, I would have told my younger self to go to school and finish first.
Mm-hmm.
And then have some life experiences before I settled down and got married.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have made me a different person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't say that I would have gotten married, but I probably would have gotten married a little bit later. Mm-hmm. And I think that every woman deserves that. Get your first apartment, you know, set up shop and know what it feels like just to be by yourself.
Yeah.
You know, out of your parents' house, but on your own, managing your own finances, making your own decisions, learning how to cook. That was another thing I would have told my younger self, to learn how to cook.
Right. The Lord Jesus. Y'all, we were malnourished.
Did not know how to cook when I got married.
I don't like hot dogs to this day because of this woman.
Oh, boy.
Because of my mama. If I smell a hot dog, I want to just throw up.
Yeah. I would have told my younger self to learn how to cook.
Yeah.
And,
please.
I know it was a painful experience for you all. You all made it through just fine.
We survived. Now I know how to cook. I know how to
you
cook, though.
Yes, you do. Thank God you do. So at least you had something to give to the, person that you meet. But I mean,
I got more than cooking to give.
A lot of guys know how to cook now, and actually, I tell my younger self that if you do marry someone, it should be someone who knows how to cook.
I think
because
so.
Guess what? You might be in a situation where you need that person to cook for you, where you're able to do it. And when I was sick, I had to depend on your dad going to different places and different restaurants and getting things for me because he doesn't know how to cook. And,
well, Daddy knows how to cook. He just don't want to cook.
Well, it's probably a combination. but I would say that's something that I would think is not such a bad thing to have.
Yes, I want, but I say need to a man that knows how to cook because I like to eat. So
Exactly.
And I think that's just a shared responsibility.
I think it's really, really cool to have someone that likes to cook, to be in the kitchen, to have conversations, to, you know, it's to me, I think it's romance. You know, it's a different form of romance. It's not just the sexual part, but it's something about being in the kitchen together, washing dishes, clean up, all that stuff, chopping, whatever it is. And some people, even with the grilling, you know, like your dad used to grill, and then I would do all the side dishes and stuff, you know. And so I think that there's something about working together to prepare meals. It's just something that is really just cool to me, you know.
I love it. I love it. Any final words of advice for us out here? Because you're a number one fan of Sip with Joy, so you see all the things or hear all the things that I talk about week after week. So any final words of advice for our audience out here?
I just think just really whoever your mate is, just love them, you know. Have respect. That was one of the things that I didn't mention in what I hope you find in a relationship is someone that respects you. I think that as we see what's going on in politics and how different rights are being taken away, you definitely don't need that BS at home. So you want someone that definitely respects you and someone that you can laugh with when it's not, it's just general conversation, or someone you can watch TV with and cuddle with. I can do all those things with your dad. And I just love it when we just are just sitting and just having conversations. It doesn't have to be anything major, but I just like when we can just talk, you know. So I just think that someone that's a good communicator, those are just really, really important things to have.
Absolutely.
And somebody fix things.
Fix things. A handyman. Yes, I need a handyman because I'm always breaking something.
Right.
So Lenore said, great advice. Please understand that we totally admire you, and the people that choose family definitely sets an example and gives us goals to work towards. Because she says she feels super late starting, but just go back and watch the replay, girl. It's okay. Elsie said, your mom is so cute and so sweet. Thank you. She is. She's just a little bitty mommy boo boo.
Seriously little bitty now.
She is, but I love it, and I love you, and I appreciate you coming on here and giving us a little word, giving us words of wisdom that we can take away, because it's hard out here, and I know that I talk about my frustrations. I've kind of eased up on telling you about things daily, because I'm like, I don't want y'all out here worried about me, and it's gonna be okay. But I appreciate that. So what are some things that you're looking forward to in the future? You have some things going on. So tell the good people what you're doing. This is a big year for you.
This is a really big year for me.
Yes.
So I have always wanted to travel, and early on in marriage, you don't always have the finances to do so. And so now I have started a travel agency and am going to be traveling on a consistent basis. I retire at the end of this year. Or I'll send you the link for the retirement party.
We can't have random people coming up to your retirement party.
I'll send it to Lenore and Keisha, and so I will be in 2024. Well, I will retire at the end of this year in December.
Yes.
I'm so looking forward to it. And I'm going to be going to Greece in October. And then my retirement party is going to be in Jamaica, Montego Bay next year in the spring.
Yes.
So I'm really, really excited about that. And, for close family and friends to be able to come and share that with me. It's something that I'm really excited about, and I am earning a living while living. So
Yes.
while
And you have gone back to school.
yes, I might put that
See?
whole
Yeah.
another year because
But
I
that's
am.
okay.
But yes, I have gone. I will continue that process after retirement,
Mm-hmm.
and so there's a lot coming down the pike, and your dad and I have been married for a very long time, and it's about time we really really get a chance to enjoy ourselves, and
I think so too.
so both excited about it. I just got my passport last week. Yay!
Yay, yay, yay.
Yes, and so talked to Uncle Gregory today. He said he's gonna come, and
Yes.
so I'm really excited about it, and really, really looking forward to spending more time with my husband and my daughter, and enjoying special moments and special occasions, and just having a blast on the road.
Yes.
So, so I am traveling, earning commission on that travel.
Yay. And it's at GNH Travel. Is
right,
it Travel Co?
travelco@gmail.com. You can email me if you're interested in earning a living while living, and
Or traveling.
or traveling. That's right. So you can email me and I can give you more information. But I am just really, really excited about doing this business. And, I want other people who like to travel to think about doing it too.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah. So
I love it.
I have a lot going on.
Yes.
But I'm very, very happy with my life right now. And, healing from my illnesses and stuff, and so I'm ready to roll.
Yes. Well, I'm proud of you. You've overcome a lot. We all have. And we're just like you said, trying to live this life that we have. So thank you guys for tuning in with me and my mommy. And I love you so much. And I'll talk to you when we get off the show.
Okay.
And I'll see you guys back here next week.
Okay. Thank everybody for tuning in.
Bye.